Chuck Connors, the legendary star of The Rifleman, left an indelible mark on television history. Though he passed away in 1992, his fascinating life story continues to captivate fans. Beyond his on-screen persona, Connors' journey was filled with twists and turns, from his early days as an athlete to his unexpected Hollywood breakthrough, and even his surprising role in Cold War diplomacy. His legacy, however, was not without its scandals and personal struggles. From his tumultuous love life to the secrets he carried to his grave, Connors' story is as dramatic as the roles he played on screen. Early life and athletic beginnings. Born on April 10, 1921, as Kevin Joseph Aloysius Connors, he grew up in a working-class Irish immigrant family in Brooklyn, New York. His parents, Alan and Marcella Connors, worked tirelessly to provide for their children during the Great Depression. Despite financial hardships, young Chuck displayed a natural talent for sports, particularly baseball and basketball. His athletic prowess earned him a scholarship to Adelphi Academy, a prestigious private high school, where he honed his skills and set his sights on a professional sports career. Connors continued his education at Seton Hall University in New Jersey, where he excelled in both baseball and basketball. While he was a solid performer on the basketball court, it was his baseball skills that truly shined. In 1942, he made a name for himself by hitting 2 home runs in a standout game, catching the attention of Major League scouts. However, his promising sports career was soon interrupted by World War II. Military service and sports career. Like many young men of his generation, Connors answered the call to serve his country. He enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1942 and was stationed at Fort Knox, Kentucky, where he served as a tank warfare instructor. Later, he transferred to West Point, where he coached Army sports teams and mentored future football stars. Even during his military service, Connors remained deeply involved in athletics, participating in various competitive sports leagues. After 3 years in the military, Connors was honorably discharged in 1946. Upon returning to civilian life, he pursued his sports dreams with renewed determination. He joined the newly formed Boston Celtics for their debut season in the Basketball Association of America, the precursor to the NBA. As a 6 feet 5 inches forward center, he played 49 games and averaged 4.5 points per game. However, his basketball career was short-lived, and he soon turned his attention back to baseball. In 1949, Connors achieved his dream of playing Major League Baseball when he joined the Brooklyn Dodgers. Unfortunately, his first game did not go as planned. He hit into a double play, contributing to the team's loss. Despite this setback, he persevered, continuing to play in the minor leagues for teams such as the Montreal Royals and the Chicago Cubs. His professional baseball career spanned several seasons, but his performance remained inconsistent. In 1951, he hit his first major league home run while playing for the Cubs, but his batting average hovered around .239. Though his sports career was respectable, Connors soon found himself on an entirely different path, one that would make him a household name. Hollywood calling. Connors' transition from athlete to actor happened almost by accident. In 1952, while playing for the minor league Los Angeles Angels, he hit a home run that caught the attention of an MGM casting director, Billy Gordon. Gordon was struck by Connors' tall, rugged appearance and suggested he try acting. Skeptical at first, Connors eventually decided to give Hollywood a shot. Within days of his screen test, he was offered a contract, setting him on the path to stardom. His first film role came in Pat and Mike, 1952, a romantic comedy starring Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Though his role was minor, it was enough to get his foot in the door. Encouraged by Tracy himself to continue acting, Connors took on a string of supporting roles in films like Trouble Along the Way, 1953, with John Wayne and the Big Country, 1958, alongside Gregory Peck. He also appeared in Disney's Old Yeller, 1957, a film that helped solidify his reputation as a dependable character actor. While Connors was building his film career, he also found success on television. By the mid-1950s, he had guest starred in over a dozen TV shows, proving his versatility as an actor. Then, in 1958, he landed the role that would define his career, Lucas McCain in The Rifleman. The Rifleman, a television icon. Premiering on September 30, 1958, The Rifleman quickly became one of the most popular shows on television. Connors played Lucas McCain, a widowed rancher and sharpshooter raising his son Mark, portrayed by Johnny Crawford. The show was groundbreaking in its depiction of a single father navigating the challenges of the Old West while instilling strong moral values in his son. Unlike many westerns of the era, The Rifleman emphasized emotional storytelling, making it a hit with audiences. One of the show's most iconic elements was McCain's rapid-fire rifle technique, a skill Connors perfected through extensive training. His ability to fire off multiple shots in seconds became a signature aspect of the character. Over its 5-season run, The Rifleman ranked among the top-rated TV shows, earning a dedicated fanbase that endures to this day. Despite his success, Connors faced challenges in breaking free from the Western hero stereotype. He turned down numerous roles in similar shows to avoid being typecast, but his association with The Rifleman made it difficult to secure diverse roles. Beyond The Rifleman. After The Rifleman ended in 1963, Connors sought out varied roles to prove his range as an actor. He starred in Arrest and Trial, 1963 to 1964, as a defense attorney and later played cavalry officer Jason McCord in Branded, 1965 to 1966. One of his most acclaimed performances came in the groundbreaking miniseries Roots, 1977, where he portrayed the cruel slave owner Tom Moore. The role showcased a darker side of his acting ability and earned him an Emmy nomination. Connors remained active in television and film throughout the 1970s and 1980s, though he never recaptured the same level of stardom he achieved with The Rifleman. He made guest appearances on shows like Murder, She Wrote, The Love Boat, and Fantasy Island while also working in action films such as Soylent Green, 1973. Personal life and scandals. Behind the scenes, Connors' personal life was far from picture perfect. He was married 3 times, and each marriage ended in divorce. His first marriage to Elizabeth Riddell produced 4 children but ultimately crumbled due to his demanding career. His second and third marriages to Camilla Davey and Faith Quabius were also short-lived. Connors was known for his romantic entanglements with Hollywood actresses, and rumors of affairs often surrounded him. His personal struggles, combined with his fight to break free from typecasting, took a toll on his later years. Unexpected role in Cold War diplomacy. One of the lesser-known aspects of Connors' life was his unexpected involvement in Cold War diplomacy. In the 1970s, he became friends with Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev, who was a fan of The Rifleman. Connors was invited to Moscow, where he played a surprising role in U.S.-Soviet relations, using his celebrity status to foster goodwill between the two nations. His friendship with Brezhnev made headlines and demonstrated how pop culture could transcend political barriers. Legacy and death. Chuck Connors passed away on November 10, 1992, at the age of 71 from lung cancer. Despite his ups and downs, he left behind a legacy that continues to endure. The Rifleman remains a beloved classic, and his contributions to film, television, and even international diplomacy are remembered fondly. Connors' life was a testament to resilience, reinvention, and the power of perseverance. From the baseball diamond to Hollywood's biggest stages, he lived a life as captivating as any Western adventure. The life and career of Chuck Connors. In the later years of his career, Chuck Connors took on smaller roles in B-movies and television shows. One of his most well-known performances was in the 1979 horror film Tourist Trap, where he portrayed Mr. Slauson, the eerie owner of a museum filled with creepy dolls. Although the movie was not a success upon its initial release, it later gained a cult following. Connors also played unconventional roles, such as battling extraterrestrials in the low-budget sci-fi film The Day Time Ended, 1980. On television, he made guest appearances in popular series like Fantasy Island, The Love Boat, and Murder, She Wrote. From 1987 to 1988, he took on a darker role as the villain Yono Skorzeny in the horror action series Werewolf. Personal life and marriages. Chuck Connors' personal life was filled with love, heartbreak, and turmoil, much like the characters he portrayed. His first wife was Elizabeth Jane Riddell, known as Betty, a model from Montreal, Canada. The two met in 1948 while Chuck was playing baseball for the Montreal Royals. Coming from a wealthy family, Betty quickly fell in love with him, and they tied the knot on October 1, 1948. At the time, Connors was 27 years old and still figuring out his career path. They had 4 sons, Michael, Jeffrey, Stephen, and Kevin. At first, their marriage seemed perfect, but problems began to arise as Chuck's acting career took off, especially after he landed the lead role in The Rifleman in 1958. His long work hours and rumors of infidelity put a strain on their relationship. In 1961, Betty discovered he was having an affair with an actress from one of his film sets. Unable to tolerate the betrayal, she filed for divorce in 1962. Although they maintained a friendly public image, it was later revealed that Betty had threatened to expose his affairs unless he agreed to her divorce terms. Connors' second marriage was to actress Camilla Davy, whom he met on the set of Geronimo. They wed in 1963. Born in Mumbai, India, Camilla was of mixed Indian and British heritage. At a time when interracial relationships were rare in Hollywood, their marriage stood out. The two worked together on several films and TV shows, including Branded and Cowboy in Africa, and fans adored their chemistry both on and off screen. However, their relationship faced challenges. Chuck was reluctant to take on complex roles, believing that his rugged cowboy persona was his key to success, while Camilla had different ambitions. Their differing goals and Chuck's reputation for infidelity created tensions in their marriage. Though their passion was strong initially, their relationship deteriorated, leading to their divorce in 1972. Their last film together, The Proud and the Damned, mirrored the sadness of their failing relationship. Perhaps the most controversial of Connors' relationships was his third marriage to Faith Quabius, whom he met on the set of Soylent Green in 1973. Despite their 33-year age gap, they married in a small ceremony in Mexico on September 7, 1977. Connors, who was 56 at the time, joked that since they acted like a married couple on screen, they decided to make it official. However, their union was short-lived, lasting only 3 years before ending in divorce in 1980. Faith later claimed that Connors was verbally abusive and blamed his drinking for his behavior, which he denied. Regardless, the allegations damaged his reputation. Scandals and controversies. Throughout his life, Connors was frequently the subject of gossip regarding his extramarital affairs and tumultuous relationships. Even during his first marriage, rumors of his unfaithfulness followed him. One woman claimed she had a long-term affair with Connors in the 1960s and that he fathered her child, though this was never proven. His flirtatious nature was well known in Hollywood, with actress Joan Crawford once remarking that while Connors could charm anyone, he struggled to maintain relationships. Some actresses even refused to work with him due to his reputation, which negatively impacted his career. One of the biggest scandals of his life occurred in 1975 when Connors was allegedly caught in a compromising situation with a young male actor at a party. Although the incident was kept quiet, it reportedly cost him a major film role. His children later reflected on how his lifestyle created challenges for their family. His son Jeffrey once said that Connors was always chasing excitement, often at the expense of those around him. Despite these controversies, Connors rarely addressed the rumors, stating near the end of his life, "I lived on my own terms. Some may not like it, but I have no regrets." Political views and Soviet fame. Connors was known for his strong political beliefs, which often set him apart from his Hollywood peers. In 1967, while many celebrities opposed the Vietnam War, Connors marched in New York City in support of it. His stance earned him both admiration and criticism. He was also actively involved in politics, supporting Republican candidates, particularly Barry Goldwater in the 1964 presidential election. He was so passionate about his beliefs that he was even encouraged to run for Congress in 1972, but he chose to continue acting instead. Unlike many in Hollywood, Connors firmly backed the Vietnam War and often clashed with colleagues over the issue. He once had a heated argument with Charlton Heston while working on Soylent Green. Beyond expressing his opinions, Connors took action. Between 1968 and 1972, he visited Vietnam multiple times to support U.S. troops. He was deeply upset by the way soldiers were treated upon their return, stating that they deserved parades, not protests. One of the most unexpected aspects of Connor's career was his popularity in the Soviet Union. Despite Cold War tensions, The Rifleman was one of the few American TV shows allowed to air in the USSR, attracting a massive audience of 250 million by 1973. Even Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev was a fan. During Brezhnev's visit to Washington, D.C., he requested a meeting with Connors, leading to an invitation for Connors to visit Moscow later that year. His trip was widely publicized, and he was greeted like a celebrity. At the Kremlin, he and Brezhnev even exchanged firearms as gifts. During his visit, Connors also filmed a short documentary, Peace and Friendship, where he interacted with Soviet citizens and advocated for better US-Soviet relations. Final years and legacy. A year before his passing, Connors had one last significant role. On November 3, 1991, he appeared in The Gambler Returns, The Luck of the Draw, a TV movie starring Kenny Rogers. In this brief scene, Connors reprised his most famous role, Lucas McCain from The Rifleman. Dressed in McCain's iconic outfit and wielding his signature Winchester rifle, Connors shared a touching moment with Johnny Crawford, who played his son Mark on The Rifleman. Though only 90 seconds long, the scene was a nostalgic farewell for fans. Sadly, in 1992, Connors was diagnosed with lung cancer, likely due to his longtime smoking habit. He reportedly smoked up to 3 packs a day. Initially, he kept his illness private, but by October of that year, his health had significantly declined. On October 28, he was admitted to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles due to complications from asthma, which worsened his condition. After 13 days in the hospital, Connors passed away on November 10, 1992, at the age of 71. His death was met with an outpouring of tributes from fans, co-stars, and athletes who admired him. Though his life was filled with controversy, Connors left a lasting mark in Hollywood and sports. The Rifleman remains beloved and continues to air on television, shaping the portrayal of single fathers on screen. Connors also made history as one of only 13 athletes to have played in both Major League Baseball, MLB, and the National Basketball Association, NBA. Even in sports, he left his mark. He famously shattered a backboard during a Celtics game in 1946, becoming part of basketball history. Chuck Connors was a complex and fascinating figure, known for his rugged screen presence, controversial personal life, and unwavering political convictions. His legacy endures in film, television, and sports history.